Welcome into Bingham High School, the site of a first-round game in the boys 6A state basketball tournament here on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com, presented by Hyde Up and Associates. Dusty Lister, pleased to be joined by the coach, Dr. Gus Opena. Doctor now, but Gus, it's going to be a fun one. The Skyridge, this is a team that comes in. I mean, you might look at the record, 7-15, 1-9 in region play. They play tough basketball, and Jeff Gardner, one of the most respected coaches in the state of Utah.
Absolutely, Dusty. Jeff Gardner, well respected for a lot of reasons, but one thing that Jeff Gardner is really good at is his team buys into his philosophies. Watch for Skyridge to play tough tonight and to never give up. Looking forward to a great battle tonight from the Skyridge Falcons.
Yeah, Mason Hunter, leading scorer on the year. Mason can fill it up. We saw it earlier this year against Lone Peak. He scored 22 points in the third quarter alone earlier this season. He's got to get going. Of course, my favorite, the Brian Scalabrini of Utah High School basketball, J.J. Jory. And then we take a look at the home Bingham Miners. If we talked about this game in the middle of December, but no way Bingham hosts a playoff game. And here they are. Last year it was senior laden. This year led by a freshman.
Yeah, number 2, Luke West, one of the best freshmen currently in the state, Dusty. Look for him to have a big game tonight, but one thing that's really great about Bingham is that they are really veteran team with a lot of seniors and a lot of juniors. They'll be able to take a little bit of pressure off of Luke. It'll be interesting to see tonight, Dusty, how Luke does in this kind of environment as a freshman in his first 6A state playoff game. It's going to be a battle tonight. Going to be fun to watch.
Coach Kyle Stratman in his second year. Last year they were the number 1 seed in the RPI. This year, a little lower. The winner moves on to play Cypress tomorrow night. They're not getting a day off tomorrow night after the cancellations. Let's go a couple keys to the game. Let's go 2 keys for Bingham.
Yeah, Dusty, for Bingham, one key thing about them is they have one of the best shot blockers in the state. In number 25, Blair Whitehead. He is incredible. Averages nearly 5 blocks a game. So the key for Bingham tonight is they got to control the turnovers, and they got to play just free like coaches asked them to do.
And it is Whitehead earning this first possession for the Bingham Miners. At our first chance, we're going to see Alex Karchner. He's a young man that can fill it up as well. Moving on the basketball, that's Luke West, and a back out to, that was Jensen. Go baseline, send it along there. This is Bagley, knocks down the first shot of the night, and it's 2-0 Bingham.
Nice flow offense there, Dusty, by Bingham. Little high post action with 2 bigs coming up high, and a little roll action. Great action right there from Bingham right there for the jump shot.
So we got a clock stoppage here. They're going to try to reset the clock currently at 7:40. Good thing we have intern Kenzie back tonight. Intern Preston let me down for the last 2-3 games I've done. Good to have intern Kenzie back. And then Mike Christensen running the camera tonight. As Mosteller get back to J.J. Jory off on the 3. The rebound to Whitehead. Quickly on the run. Bagley leaves it for Tueller. Stockton on the baseline, turns it over, taken by Josh Davis.
That's one thing that we mentioned earlier at the top, Dusty. Bingham's got to control those turnovers tonight.
Here's J.J. Jory. Bingham gives it up to Mason Hunter. You know, Mason's a kid, Gus. I don't know if you saw the same thing as me. He's so unselfish. There are times that he needs to take over the game. Oh, we got a pass and crash. Didn't even let him take the salt in the wound of the turnover. My least favorite call in basketball.
Absolutely, yeah.
Especially along the baseline. That's a Region 1 special, as I call that. The charge underneath the hoop.
Absolutely, especially on a pass, Dusty.
So, yeah. Referees will tell us all the time. I just have to, those are the rules, and I got to enforce the but
More high post action here from Bingham, Dusty.
Here's Bagley. Sends it back out. And now Luke West. Back up top. Jensen. Now the 3 on the way, and good. That is Stockton Tueller. He even got little John Stockton action to that 3.
He does.
And taken away by Tueller. 3 on one and a steal on the other. On the run, Bagley leaves it. 3 on the way for Jensen, back rimmed. Man, that was a momentum-taking shot right there.
Yes, it was. Like you said, Dusty, Mason Hunter needs to come up big here for Skyridge to have a big game tonight. They got to take care of the ball.
Jump the passing lane, does Luke West. Got the steal, a bucket as well. Lucky not to be a +1, and Jeff Gardner takes a timeout. 6:03 left in the first quarter. Timeout. Bingham jumping on top. 7-0. You're watching the 2023 6A State Tournament on KSLSports.com. And welcome back into Bingham. Dusty Litster, Gus Sopena with you. Gus, when you got a quick start like this, basketball is part of these things. A game of runs, but Jeff Gardner, what do you think is the message from Jeff during that timeout?
I think Coach Gardner, Dusty, the way he likes to coach, he's calming his players down. He's telling them to relax. They've been in this situation a lot this year, Dusty. They've been down a lot, and they've been able to be resilient and come back quite a bit. So I expect Skyridge to respond really well here.
J.J. Jory online but short. Kept alive. Mosteller with a little sharp off the window as Cannon Jensen kept that ball alive for the second chance opportunity, gone by the wayside. Is Jensen going to hold up top? Here's West. Goes at Jory, pulls up inside the arc and hits. Rhythm shot for the freshman.
Luke West, just pure shooter. Got incredible form. Just so makes it look so easy and so pure when he shoots the ball, Dusty.
That's that old Dwayne Wade move, except it was in the middle of the floor instead of the junction extended.
Exactly. Yep.
As coming in the game now is going to be Tate Larson for Coach Gardner. So Tate hand off to Cannon Jensen. Cannon off the screen from Mosteller. Did not want to go test Whitehead.
Yeah, you can tell Skyridge is trying to avoid going at Whitehead, Dusty.
That was a nay-nay take.
Yep.
Hunter left that one short. And the rebound taken by Badgley. You got to give it up. Hunter with the steal. The best steal get all night long. There's a roof. You're going to see him playing middle blocker, I'm guessing, this spring on the volleyball team here for Bingham. First year that's going to be a sanctioned sport in Utah.
That's
as
true.
We'll have a foul here to Cannon Jensen. And you're seeing the effects of a big man in Whitehead.
Yeah, Whitehead's having a tremendous impact on Skyridge, Dusty. You can tell that Skyridge is looking to attack, not utilizing that pump fake as much as they probably should right now. If I was Coach Gardner, I'd try to utilize that pump fake just a little bit more on Whitehead. Shot blockers like to try to go up and try to get that shot block, so get them in the air a little bit.
Whitehead goes high-low. Jensen can't, Luke West had to control it. Goes back to the corner and hits the three. 5 points for West as Coach Gardner frustrated on the switch there. As we'll stay here, 30-second timeout. We'll stay here as a quick 9-0. Call that a 9-0 start here for Bingham. I want to remind you that the state tournament, yes, we were in the first round. Second round will be tomorrow night, and here in the city of Utah. And then Tuesday, we'll be back. Dane Stewart and myself, all 30 games next week from the D Event Center right here on KSLSports.com. We'll be joined by some coaches depending on the game. Like, we don't want Gus to join us. He's the assistant coach for Timpview. But as coaches get knocked out, we tend to get them to come join us on our broadcast. As next week's kind of like the reunion. It's the media and coach reunion all week long there at the D Event Center.
Absolutely, yeah. I love Dusty Lister like no other, but I don't want to see it too soon, Dusty. I like to see the Thunderbirds advance a little bit in the playoffs, and then we can kind of
like heartburn from the Fornos, one of our favorite cheesesteak places, and the best Stromboli outside the city.
Well said, like a true Philadelphian right there.
We welcome it, but the side effects can be a little much. That ball goes out of bounds. It'll go back down the floor with Bingham. As Skyridge, as you mentioned, we've seen this. I had a Lone Peak game at Lone Peak. It was a 14-point half for Jeff Gardner's team. They came back and took the lead in that one and lost in a heartbreaker. But this team will come back. They have some slow starts.
Yeah, they've had some tough moments this season. A little more than they're used to from Coach Gardner, but this is a resilient team, Dusty.
Back on the other end. That was nearly a tough angle of layup to go. Whitehead misses the bunny, gets it back. A little stat stuffer there. Offensive board and bucket. 2 boards and 2 points.
Already from the start, Dusty, you can see Whitehead and West impacting the game quite a bit on both ends of the floor for the Miners.
Outside of Mason Hunter. Mason leading scorer this year, over 15 points per game. Mosteller straight away off on the three, and the rebound taken by Stockton Tueller. Quickly ahead, Badgley. West goes inside the big man, had Mosteller on his hip. Whitehead sent back out, Stockton Tueller off on the three and an offensive board to Badgley. Hunter, yeah, no contact there. Good no call.
I agree.
We try to give love whenever I get a little critical. Send back out Badgley straight away. 4-3.
Those offensive rebounds, Dusty, are impacting quite a bit on Skyridge. Bingham's been able to capitalize on those quite a bit early on.
So it's frustrating for Coach Gardner. Offensive boards to Whitehead's one thing, but when a 2 or a 3 gets it, that's a problem. Cannon Jensen looking for the foul instead of the bucket, misses it, doesn't get either. Back the other way with West, and now you're going to have a little transition foul. Going to be charged to Cannon Jensen. And this is one, if I'm Coach Gardner, go to Cannon, hey, don't look for the +1. Just, we got to get a bucket. You need to see the ball go through the hoop, down 17-0.
Yeah, it's amazing how simple in the game of basketball it is for basketball players to be able just to see the ball go through the hoop, Dusty. It can give you an array of confidence just seeing that ball go through the net.
On the take, send the ball to the corner. We got a couple of looks here as West, 8 points in the first quarter, and it's 20-0 Bingham.
The moment is not too big for Luke West tonight so far.
Van Komen checked in during that little break. Tate Larson, no. Rebound, gets out to Bingham. On the run. Cycle through to the corner. Karchner has that one. Send around into the corner now for three. Peterson misses on three. Tate Van Komen now on the run. And Tate thought he'd get some calls, didn't get anything, and now timeout to Coach Stratman. Man, it is fast and furious. 2:22 left in the first. We'll take it with them. 20-0 Bingham leading. You're watching the first round of the 6A state tournament. So out of the timeout, 2:22 left in the first quarter. As remember that clock on the screen. Kinsey keeps it as close as possible. There's a send out. Karchner back out to Vance. And going to get a foul on the drive. No bucket. Called on the ground. Had on the gather, not in his habitual shooting motion. So call it on the floor. So into the game now for Coach Stratman is going to be Bagley, and I think it was White that checked in as West comes off the floor for the first time. And now jump ball, yes. Jump ball, possession arrow belongs to Skyridge.
Now let's see, Dusty, if that call can just swing the momentum just a little bit in Skyridge's favor. They got to take advantage of the fact that Whitehead's out of the game right now. And let's see, here's that typical high post offense that Jeff likes to run for Skyridge.
Van Komen. Can't seem to get loose. Guarded closely there by Jason Peterson. Hand off to Larson, 19 on the shot clock. Tate reverses out, sends out to Jory. JJ. Nice pass on the baseline to Van Komen, trying to get free. Now you have the reach foul here on Jason Peterson. First team foul on the Miners.
You can tell that the physicality of the Miners, Dusty, is really impacting Skyridge quite a bit. Skyridge, as you mentioned earlier, looking for a lot of contact first before they make those baskets. Skyridge just needs to see that ball go through the hoop like we mentioned earlier.
So Larson, that ball is designed to get the Hunter, couldn't get it to him, but does get it in. There's Cy Hansen to the rim. First bucket tonight for Skyridge.
Hopefully that will calm the nerves now for Coach Gardner's Falcons.
Peterson draw the foul on Gagan. That'll be the fifth team foul. Mercy will have one to give the whole second quarter.
One thing I think Coach Gardner might be doing here, Dusty, that we should look for is he's really a proponent of pressure, especially on defensive. Maybe they can do a little double team in and see if they can get some action and get some steals.
Foul away from the ball, going to go on Gagan. That'd be a 14 on Larson. Mr. Official says it was a hold. Jeff Gardner protests. Karchner try to fight that ball inside to Bagley. Taken away. Here comes Mason Hunter. Number one has got to get going. Mason drives at Bagley, gets right to the rim and gets it to go.
That right there shows that Skyridge relies so much on Mason Hunter. What a great action right there to be a little hesitant with his dribble, and he didn't look. Notice he didn't go for the contact, he went right for the basket.
Lob inside, and they have a charge. Gagan got there, took it in the chest, and we'll go the other way.
One thing that I love as a coach when it comes to basketball games, Dusty, as I'm sure you know, is it's a game of runs. And so Coach Gardner knows that. He knows that the momentum is starting to slowly swing back in their favor. Let's see if they can capitalize now.
Jory hands off to Gagan. High post to Hansen. Hand back Larson. Tate drives. It kind of parts. Reverses and left it short. Quickly ahead, Peterson. Leaves it back for Karchner. And they'll reset the offense. Game clock and shot clock are almost identical. As Coach Stratman wants the final shot of the quarter as Carson Bagley will hold up top. Bagley takes it down to 10. Extended here with Jason Peterson. Back out Bagley, going to drive with 5 to the rim and scores. And I don't know if Skyridge get a shot at the rim, and that'll do it for the first quarter. All Bingham. This game was delayed one day, and man, Bingham's taking advantage. Bingham leads at the end of one, 22-4. You're watching Skyridge basketball in the first round on KSLSports.com. Start of the second quarter, as always. KSL Sports Rewind presented by Heidemann & Associates. Go to utah.law to find the law office nearest you. That's Heidemann & Associates. Get a free consultation. Just let them know that Rewind sent you. And that's Justin Heidemann & Associates, a flat rate law firm. You only get your living will and trust set up. It's a flat rate, $2,500. If it takes longer, $2,500. As a 3 from Bingham won't go. That shot was in and out for Caden Jensen. But Gus, man, that first quarter for Bingham, just an onslaught against Skyridge.
Yeah, very impressive performance by Luke West, that freshman. The moment was not too big for him like we talked about, Dusty.
That ball goes out of bounds, will stay here. As you see, Cy Hansen, again, wanted no part of Whitehead. You got to go at the big guy.
You do. No fear. And like I mentioned earlier, utilize that pump fake a little more, Falcons. Get him up in the air because he does want to shot block that shot.
J.J. Jory leaves it to Hansen. Kiss it off the window. He said, hey, I'll take it.
Hey, absolutely. That's one thing I mentioned. I talked to Coach Gardner earlier today, Dusty, and one thing he mentioned he was going to try to do tonight is try to get Whitehead away from the basket a little bit more, and you saw that right there.
Baseline J from Caden Wood would not go. Now on the run with Skyridge. Should mention maybe a little bit the depth perception on this floor different than what Skyridge is used to. As you got Dane Housley was on the take. Oh, is he going to get bailed on the reach? Got foul goes to Luke West. But I kind of finished that thought. Skyridge has the stadium seating in their arena. However, there's kind of that blockage behind it. Here at Bingham, they didn't put the curtains down. It's a little deeper behind the rim.
It does look a little deeper. You can tell that that kind of maybe impacted the Falcons a little bit.
But the biggest impact is Bingham's shooting.
Yeah.
They shot the lights out. And now, I always say this. The fouls were 6-1 just 15 seconds ago. It's now 6-4.
Yeah, some officials, for some odd reason, like to see those numbers for the team fouls to be a little bit closer to even, Dusty, sometimes.
Goal on the baseline to Hansen. Finds opposite there. It's a shot, just crawls off for Mason Hunter. Rebound to Whitehead. Quick on the run, Luke West. Near side with Kason Jensen. Jensen drives base, cut off, and turns it over. Those pass on the baseline, big no-nos.
Absolutely.
Out of bounds off the hands of Bagley.
J.J. Jory with his hands up, which is a great fundamental defensive principle that you want to have. Coach Gardner obviously has taught him well.
You know, it's funny, if I had an official explain to me the way the floor works on those fouls. Red zone from the half-court line to the free throw line, meaning no restriction. You restricted dribbler, we're calling it. And it gets to be the blue inside the key. The closer you get, the more blue it is, meaning we're going to allow contact.
Absolutely. Yep.
Do you guys talk about that with your team or no?
We do actually, yeah. We talk a little bit about
Of course Izzy does.
Of course.
But you did before, right?
Well,
your junior high team?
Of course.
Canyon View Junior High?
Absolutely, of course, Dusty. Come on.
So many championships there. It's a shot off the mark from Jory. Now on the run off the miss. Ball sent right back by Houndsley. In the corner, Luke West working on Gagan. Pull up and hits. Moving to his left. We talked about that Dwayne Wade thing. It was the same thing to Wade. Dwayne Wade moved to your left. It sets him up.
Absolutely. Looks like Luke likes to have that little pull-up jump shot, especially in the mid-range. Skyridge might need to make an adjustment on that in the second half on him.
An 18-point lead for Bingham. Is Hansen holding at the junction. Finds Hunter, moving out the ball. Hunter stops short. Sends out. It'll be a mid-range J. No good from Hansen. Quickly on the push. And Hunter can't save it. Will stay with Bingham.
One thing that might work in the favor of the Falcons tonight, Dusty, is that one thing that Bingham sometimes struggles with is they do average about 16 turnovers a game. That could come back to bite them potentially. I'm surprised I haven't seen enough pressure yet from Coach Gardner.
Hunter goes for the steal. West blocked from behind by Mason Hunter. Senior on freshman. Here comes Hanson, and look at the reach on the big man.
That could be a powerful thing too, Dusty, for the Falcons as well, is that if Whitehead picks up a second or maybe even a potentially third foul before the half, that could impact the game as well.
So Cy Hanson will come off the floor as Mosteller will come back on. Jory to trigger in to Hunter. And Mason with 2 points thus far in the half. Housley back straight away. Mosteller will pull for three and hit. Big, big three, the first one of the half for Skyridge.
The great equalizer, Dusty. That three-pointer can get Skyridge back in the game. Notice again that Whitehead drawn away from the basket like Coach Gardner mentioned to me earlier today.
West again moving to his left, misses on the shot, didn't get the call either. Quick on the run, Gagan. You see that Whitehead, he just stopped short, blocked away by Whitehead. Mosteller goes out and blocked again.
3 blocks already in the first half, Dusty, for Whitehead.
Bingham fans are saying that hesitation for a reason, as they'll call that off of Badgley, not off of Skyridge. But Bingham fans flexing on that, saying, hey, you want to know why they're not driving at him?
Exactly. Skyridge, like we mentioned earlier, they have to keep going at him, keep attacking him, try to see if he can pick up that second foul potentially, and utilize that pump fake. I know it's not the most sexy move in basketball, but it could really be an effective tool for them.
Cannon Jensen back to Mosteller. Ball gets wide, picked up by Housley. Now Cannon Jensen. Got a mismatch, Whitehead, got to go at him. Jensen, terminate, give it up Mosteller, and he turns it over. Again, those blocks from Whitehead paying dividends.
Impacting the game quite a bit for Skyridge.
Saw this for 4 years of Matt Van Komen at PG, and they just played that 2-3 zone and left big fella just standing there waiting at the underneath the rim.
Yep.
And Gagan with the steal. Hunter gonna get the loose ball foul first on West. That is number 2 on the freshman.
That potentially could be a big call right there, Dusty. Freshman phenom right here, Luke West picking up a second foul. Let's see if Coach Stratton, yep, he's going to take him out of the game right here. Mason Hunter needs to come up big right now for Skyridge. Another thing that Coach Gardner mentioned to me today is that Mason needs to make the right plays at the right time and utilize his athletic ability and just keep going to the basket. You saw that earlier in the first half.
See Mason Hunter looking away from the ball is Tate Larson. Finds Hunter moving out the basketball, can't get it to go. Missed the bunny, on the run now with Bingham. Bagley leaves it for Vance. And Vance turns it over. Hunter, Mosteller on the trail, makes it to the rim and gets the bucket. Skyridge into the press. Whitehead gives it up. And now Carson Bagley. Oh, he got Hunter off of the spot at Bagley. Nifty take and make.
Yeah, Skyridge, too much ball watching right there.
And you have the little, essentially a take foul there, Alex Karcher, and it's 1-on-1 free throws. I did not think when we opened the second quarter that Skyridge would be shooting penalty free throws before Bingham.
I agree.
It was 6-1 coming into the quarter. One win there. That's, hey, you're gonna take something if you're Skyridge. There's one of them.
That's true.
So to the line goes Housley, and he misses the front end. On those comebacks, you got to score with the clock stopped. A missed opportunity there for Skyridge.
Absolutely, and a couple of missed layups as well earlier in the first half so far for Skyridge.
Foul on the drive, going to put Stockton Tuller at the line. Now he's shooting 1 for 1. Josh Davis will come back on as Gagan will come off.
Stockton Tuller, by the way, Dusty, he is a stat stuffer for the Miners. He's one of those basketball players that a coach has in a team, and you end up looking at the stat sheet after the game, and you're like, wow, I didn't realize that he had that many stats tonight. He impacts the game in so many areas. A very impressive player for the Miners.
He's got 4 on the half. The average is about 7 points a game, about 10.7. So 16-point advantage for Bingham as Josh Davis hands off to Larson.
Little pistol action here from the Falcons, trying to get Whitehead again away from the basket.
Oh, nice find. Hunter, now there's the +1 for Mosteller. And Mosteller hit the 3 earlier, gets the hoop and the harm, put him at the line.
Yeah, great utilization of the dribble drive action right there in that pistol formation. They were patient. They waited for the opportunity to come. Bingham kept coming up to the lane line, and they backdoored and were able to hit that for the and one.
Mosteller leaves the door open. Hunter nearly stole the extra possession there. But back down the floor, Bingham in a 14-point advantage for the Miners. Drop that ball inside to Whitehead, goes at Mosteller. Looked like travel wasn't. He'd be able to keep that foot down. Out top of Bagley, 13 on the shot clock. Bagley terminates. Josh Davis right there with him.
Officials looking to call lots of hand checking, it looks like so far in the first half, Dusty.
Hey, don't tell me big guys get beat up in the paint.
Hey,
not on that one.
They say it's a contact sport, right?
Yeah. As Whitehead hits the first, well, the front end, I should say.
These last 2 minutes right here, Dusty, are huge for the Falcons. Hopefully they can go out and end this quarter on a good run, have a little bit of momentum headed into the half.
Jeff Gardner having a conversation with Mr. Official. He saw what he saw, and he walked him through it. So, much like Olaf says, you feel what you feel, and your feelings are real.
Couldn't have said it better myself, Dusty. Well said.
Off the screen, here goes Mason Hunter. Pull up at Junction, extended, and Mason Hunter.
That's what Skyridge needs tonight from Mason Hunter, Dusty. He needs to be aggressive and shoot the ball. He's got one of the prettiest strokes in 6A.
Whitehead sends that ball in the corner, saved by Peterson. Baseline, Jay short, rebound to Hunter. Chance to get a couple more. Dangerous dribble, got it back. Housley on the drive, kiss it off the window. And a little rhythm here from the Falcons, and it's a 12-point game.
That junior guard for the Falcons, Dane Housley, impressive young man. He sees the court really well. Great finish right there for the Falcons.
Really smart sagging back there by Mosteller. You didn't come out at Whitehead and gave up the easy 2. Is Jensen on the take? Oh, that would have been on the highlight reel.
That would have.
Inside of a minute left in the half. Hunter drives. Does not get the foul, doesn't get the bucket either. Tipped around, and now the ball in the hands of the Miners. Inside of 50 seconds. Baseline, take and make by Tueller. Nothing on the contact. And the lead back to 14. Or up to 14. Coach Gardner, yeah, you saw right there working the shot clock. The guys went to quickly inbound. He's like, no, wait. They wanted one last shot as our shot clock and game clock are nearly identical.
Skyridge look to get Mason Hunter the ball here and see if they can drag Whitehead away again from the basket. See if they can get a basket right before halftime.
Hunter in the lane. Mason try to send it to Josh Davis, turns it over. Baseball pass gets through, and the clock will stop just inside of 3 seconds left.
That last possession for the Falcons, Dusty, that was the shot that I think Mason should have shot right there.
I completely agree with you. A little too unselfish on that. Coach Stratman, I'm not sure the argument here.
Looks like he wanted a little bit less time on the clock.
Well, they stopped at 2.9. I wasn't sure what Strat wanted on that, but
yeah.
They try to go a little Valparaiso, and they get some help. Out of bounds, and Coach Carter immediately, hey, there's time on that clock. So right now it's at 1 second. Nope, not putting anything back on here.
Let's see if they can throw the ball somewhere near the rim here, yep.
Off the backboard, the ball still live. There it is. We're going to wait and see here. We're waiting just 1 second for the Geneva Convention to close. But when the officials say, Doug, go ahead and go. So that's it. At the end of the first half, Bingham 31, Skyridge 17. You're watching the first round in the 6A state tournament on KSLSports.com, your home for online championships. And welcome back into Bingham High School. Dusty Lister, Gus Sopena with you. Halftime score, the Bingham Miners scorched it in the first quarter. That second quarter came down to earth a little bit. Skyridge fought back, but Gus, tell us, as a coaching staff, down 14 when things haven't gone right for you, what's the message in the locker room from Skyridge?
Just play your game and trust the process, trust what we've been working on. You can't get it all back right at the beginning. Just play defense. That's how you're going to get back in the game, is by getting stops and then utilizing those stops into points, and just one possession at a time.
And when you're Bingham, and I guess it gives Coach Stratman something. He shot the lights out in the first quarter. Second quarter came down to earth a little bit as Josh Davis back rims a three. Gagan couldn't get to it, but they have plenty to work on and talk about at the end of that second quarter. As the playlist just kept rolling right along. It's not the third down. What are they playing the third down song for?
Somebody's missing football season.
Always. Always missing football season. Kenzie nods. Kenzie's a OH. There we go. She knows. I might not cheer for that team, but I always give Ohio fans their opportunities, you know. Equal opportunity person over here. As Whitehead goes at Josh Davis. Can't get the jump hook to go. On the push now, Skyridge. Housley a little ahead of himself, and timeout, Coach Gardner. He wanted to preserve that possession, right?
Yeah, Coach Gardner wanted to save that possession right there, take advantage of the opportunity they have.
Full timeout, we'll be right back. 7:18 left in the third. You're watching the first round of the 6A state tournament. So welcome back in. Dusty Lister, Gus Sopena with you. And Gus, that timeout for Coach Gardner, really, hey, we got to have this possession. Is that really what that is?
Yeah, it's all about just saving and utilizing those possessions, because we know that they need to utilize those possessions to be able to make a comeback here.
J.J. Jory, he's been online, short, that one off the buckle. And we talk about waiting for football season. This is a rematch of the semifinals in football in 6A. As Whitehead hangs, gets the and one. The foul to Josh Davis. It'll put the big man at the line.
Great action from Coach Stratton right there, Dusty. Little roll action trying to get Whitehead on the block, and great utilization of the pump fake there to get the and one.
So Whitehead goes to the line. Young man that he's big. He's been terrific here his senior year. It knocks down the free throw calmly and extends the lead 33-17. You know, this Bingham basketball program is a proud program. Matter of fact, each of the last two coaches have won state championships. Coach Mark Dubon, 2006, and there's the steal. And Coach Schroeder won 2 with Yoli Childs and made it to a third. So Coach Stratman's got he's rich program here at Bingham. Bagley gives that one back out. Tuller, baseline J, no. Rebound taken by Gagan. Here's Housley. Dribbled away from the screen and a little long on the jumper. Gagan gets the extra possession. Housley straight away off on the three. Mason Hunter saved it in, but into the hands of Bingham. And now it's still to Housley. Effort level is high, and Housley lays it in. And that's what you want to talk about. Hey, Guys not get frustrated. Keep playing hard.
One of the greatest signs of a great coach, Dusty, is teams that do just that, have their hands up and stay involved in the game on the defensive end.
Back-to-back steals to Housley. Hunter on the drive, and he missed it. Davis gives it up to Gagan, left it short, and you saw the effect of Whitehead. And now the foul on the board here to Gagan. I believe that's number 3 on Gagan.
Skyridge with a lot of layups that they wish they could have it back tonight, Dusty. Some wide open looks that could have really changed the look of the game a little bit had they made them.
That's 4 points and be an 11-point game, looking to make it single digits. There's inbound into Whitehead. You got a guy that tall, would you want to trap the big man even though he's much taller than your guys, or no?
Oh, absolutely, yeah. He's not used to having the ball in his hand, and if you can try to get him in uncomfortable situations, almost like that right there. 3
straight steals for this defense, and Ian Gagan trying to find Hunter on the backside, and that ball gets away. And if you're a spectator here at Bingham without the curtains down, you're also a helper. Tell my kids when I drop them off at school, hey, be a helper.
Always good to be a helper, Dusty.
Help the helper.
Very good term right there in the basketball world.
No, there comes Tate Larson. Hands off to Housley.
There's that pistol action again from Coach Gardner. High ball screen.
Again, Housley was kind of between decisions there. Even going to Mosteller, misses on the floater. West, junction extended, yes. Moving the ball to his left.
There's that mid-range jump shot we talked about in the first half again. Going both directions for the freshman. The freshman, moment not too big for him.
Mosteller gives it up, Mason Hunter for 3. Off the mark, tipped out, taken by Bagley. Tuller, drive the base, sends it along the baseline, 3 in the corner. Vance for 3. Gage Vance, a Vance 3's oration. Larson. Now Mosteller. His nickname has to be Bob on the team.
Has to be.
If it's not Bob Vance, the nickname, missed opportunities. Tate wants nothing to do with that. Sends it back out for 3. Mosteller, no. Rebound taken by Whitehead.
You could see how uncomfortable Whitehead was, not wanting to go out away from that comfortable zone of the rim area and the paint area, Dusty.
5th steal of the quarter as Larson got it over Whitehead.
That's one way to get the ball over the tall center. Hit some floaters.
Dangerous pass there from Bagley. Go back the other way. West, extra pass to Vance. Bagley straight away for 3. Tuller, no. Hit the deck, no call. Rebound to Whitehead and a charge.
Sometimes coaches, Dusty, when they pressure the ball, they think that the best result is going to be getting a turnover, but sometimes the best thing is forcing the other team to shoot the ball quickly and have to do things they're not comfortable doing. You saw that there with the Bingham Miners.
Well, 100%. First year at the shot clock, we've seen a lot quicker second shots off of an offensive board. Is that something you guys talk about, or is it, hey, we're going to go right back into this? What's kind of the philosophy that Izzy Engel and you guys have?
Our philosophy is pace and space and look for the quick shot. Let the boys kind of play a little bit of basketball, and if it's not there after about 10 seconds, then let's run a play and make the team play defense and execute a play.
Quickly off the make, Mosteller now with 7. Drive from West to foul will be here to Mosteller. Going to put the freshman at the line for 2 free throws. Number 2 on Mosteller. And Coach Gardner is saying, hey, he was trying to pass it. Jeff didn't like the explanation. He still has questions. All I know is that's one of the officials I wouldn't want to take on. Dollars to donuts, that dude wrestled in high school. And you don't mess with wrestling. I'm guessing. I'm just guessing. You don't keep guys who wrestled their whole lives. I wrestled 1 year. It doesn't count. They don't get out of shape. And that particular official has always been in shape. He's a CrossFitter, no doubt.
You can tell.
Cannon Jensen sends out to Gagan. Oh, he's looking for Hunter, taken away by Bagley. Into the corner. Peterson cut off there by Cannon Jensen.
You can see the Miners are kind of looking for their freshman phenom right there. A lot of the players in the Miners not used to being the man offensively. They're kind of looking for Luke to kind of take over.
So coming off the floor now is going to be Bagley and Vance as Jackson Peterson checks back in along with Caden Wood. And Tate Larson going to draw the foul off the ball. That's everyone's giving away freebies here.
Yeah, officials calling a lot of hand checking tonight, Dusty. The players have to adjust to the calls that the referees are trying to make tonight. So hopefully both teams can kind of get a little bit of adjusted to the calls that these refs are making.
We'll get back into Caden Jensen. Try to go high-low into Karchner. Turns it over.
That's a great blob action right there. Baseline out of bounds play that Coach Stratman just ran. Have a little box set, have them pop out, look for the roll, and a quick pass back to the screener.
That quick timing is a lot of work, right?
It does. It's all about timing with a lot of these plays. Something that we work on a lot at Timpview.
As Jensen goes straight away to Mosteller. Goes opposite block into Cy Hansen. Got around Karchner and gets the +1.
This is the chance for Skyridge right here to utilize and take advantage of the fact that Whitehead's out of the game again. See if they can make a little bit of a run here, Dusty.
Hey, to our Bingham friends out there, remember, this is a Skyridge broadcast, our coverage of the Skyridge Falcons and all, but however, we don't cheer for teams, we cheer for games. Nothing's more fun than a close state tournament game. If you watched our games last night, you saw Bountiful and Juan Diego, close game. Davis and Weber was a close game as well. It's all we want, are close games.
Especially in the state playoffs.
Especially the state playoffs. This would be a Monday morning game right now. And trust me, Monday morning 11, you want a good one. As the mid-range J did not fall for West. Skip to Karchner, back to West with Mason Hunter with him, and back to Jensen. They thought they'd get the switch on that.
Can Skyridge get a stop here after giving up an offensive rebound?
And a foul to Hunter. A little hip check there along the baseline, and it'll be the 6th team foul on the Falcons. Number 2 on Mason. It's so amazing to go through Bingham's roster, and I just see names I called for a long time, and Whitehead. It's not the first Whitehead to go through Bingham. Might not be the brother, but it could be an uncle or anything else. Here's Wood. We had a Wood that was a quarterback of a state championship team. Well, he's played in the state championship game for Bingham. Here's Karchner, drive base, leaves it. Back for Peterson. A ball out of bounds and will stay here. It's such a great tradition at Bingham High School in every sport.
Yeah, Bingham has quite the reputation with their athletic programs here, Dusty.
Well, yeah, legendary coach Joey Sato still doing it on the baseball field. And you see Joey walk around. I get a chance to ask him yet. I got to ask him how his team's going to be this year. And I know he's going to tell me. I don't know. I don't think we'll be any good. And then they make it to the state championship game.
Humility, a great sign of a great coach.
He just lies about his teams every year. But it's a baseline take by Tueller and a foul. Going to put Stockton Tueller at the line. It'll be bonus free throws the entire minute and a half left of this quarter and all 8 minutes of the fourth.
Like we mentioned in the first half, Dusty, Stockton Tueller, just a stat stuffer, hustles, plays hard, a coach's dream, a kid that just goes out and just executes the offense, does exactly what you ask him to do, goes and gets rebounds, passes the ball. Great effort right there by Stockton.
This is on the first free throw. And it goes 0 for 2. Does not happen often. Hansen with the board. Down the floor we go. Cannon Jensen. Cannon on the drive, and the +1 as a foul is going to be charged to Alex Karchner. His second +1 given up here. Number 2 on Karchner. And it puts Jensen at the line.
Yet another and one play from the Falcons. Like we mentioned earlier, Dusty, players haven't quite gotten used to the fact that the officials are calling a lot of hand checking. They got to adjust and see if they can get the hands off the back. Skyridge taking advantage of that right now.
Let's say this. We always say, hey, just call it consistently. It's been consistent.
It has.
First quarter, you roll your eyes. Second quarter, you go, are we really doing this? Third quarter's like, okay, well, if you're going to keep calling it, right?
A little bit of pressure here from Coach Gardner, a staple in his program.
Got it down to 13 points for the first time in a little while as Wood ahead to Karchner. And back out top to Caden Jensen. Peterson sends out to Tuller as we dip inside of the minute left in the third. 13 on the shot clock. Tuller on the baseline. Leaves it toward the middle of the floor. Taken away by Housley. Housley's fourth steal of the third. Housley send out to Gagan. And Davis Fiennes checked in that last stoppage. Step through, no. Missed opportunity here for Skyridge. Gardner wanted to foul, didn't get it. A late stoppage on that shot clock, but holding up top is Jensen.
If I was Coach Gardner here, I'd send a little bit of pressure, maybe send a double team, try to get the Bingham Miners to play a little bit faster than they want.
Bingham going to hold for this final shot of the quarter.
Little high post action here from the Miners.
5 on the shot clock. Peterson, no, and it's going to put him at the line. However, we're with 2.4 seconds left in the quarter.
What really made that play work for the Miners right there, Dusty, was the seal that number 3, Caden Wood, had. That high post action with their guard coming off of a little bit of an Iverson cut, like we like to call. That hold of the seal allowed that drive action to happen.
First free throws, no good from Peterson. It's just, we see both coaches, no sets. And you see why Bingham was slow out the gate, too. Graduated so much talent from a year ago. We talked about the number 1 team in the RPI going into the state tournament last year, upset in the quarterfinals. But you see where they had to get this all figured out. Coach Kyle Stratman, you see as the year went on, this team's gotten better and better.
Only better and better as the season started. What's really impressive, too, Dusty, is that they started the season off 0-6.
Oh, right. And there's a block at the end of the quarter. We go to the fourth quarter. Last quarter, potentially the season for Skyridge. Let's see what they've got for Bingham. The Miners lead by 13. Bingham 41. Skyridge 28. You're watching Skyridge basketball on the Rewind Sports Network. Start of the fourth quarter. Dusty Lister, Goso Pena with you. Skyridge basketball presented by Heinemann and Associates. Winner moves on to Cyprus. In fact, Coach Trey Smith and the Cyprus Pirates in the building. I always know when a member of Raider Nation is here, and Trey Smith hanging out with his boys. And Q Mesa, one of my favorite players, waiting to find out who they're going to play tomorrow night. There's a little action there, and Caden Wood, pardon me, that was number 5, Devontae Everett, hitting Whitehead for the bucket.
Another costly turnover right there, Dusty, by the Falcons. If they want to try to make a comeback, got to take care of the basketball.
Everett drives the baseline, going to draw the foul to Gagan. And Gagan says, I was straight up, but when you move, even the jump backwards is movement, right?
Yeah.
It is straight up in a cylinder, and the foul drawn is going to put the man at the line.
And it didn't help that his other hand was also kind of on his hip. He's got to release that other hand from his body.
You're trying to tell me that West is a freshman and this Everett kid's a sophomore? Is that what people are trying to pass off here?
That's what it looks like, Dusty.
How about saying it's Danny Almonte? I'm not making that claim. Not all freshmen and sophomores look alike. Everett hits both free throws. I remember, oh, here's a quick run out. That is a Jeff Gardner play. 100%
from Coach
Leak
Gardner.
Out, get the easy 2. Quickly on the other end, West with Jory on the chase. Lays it up and in.
Skyridge looking to utilize a little bit more possessions. They got to look to see if they can attack a little bit more here.
Cy Hansen lips out the long-range 2. And Bagley bringing the ball off the floor. But before, so Rudy erupted with great action. I remember seeing, this makes me feel so old. It was Coach Schroeder. It was one of his first games here, and I see this tall kid with really awkward hair. And I go, who's that? He goes, it's the future. I go, oh, he goes, that's Yoli Childs. And I was like, interesting. All right, I'll keep track. Turned out to be a dude. And Everett has almost the exact same hairdo, for heaven's sakes. Look, a little even messier, but it just looks a little better than it did on Yoli then.
They just building the same here, apparently, at Bingham, don't they?
They just roll right in, and there's plenty of Cypress fans sitting there saying, yeah, they came from Magna. Because I see a name on the wall. Dave Peck was a Cypress Pirate, was a Cypress head coach, took the Bingham head coaching job in 2000. And it was a good pipeline of kids that came and played and won a lot of state championships for Dave Peck on the football field. As Hunter turns it over, Bagley with the steal and the bucket. And the 20-point lead here. Back to 20. Remember, this started 20-0 tonight.
Skyridge with another costly turnover in that last possession.
Cy Hansen back rims the 3. Rebound to West. As Bagley sends out to Jensen. And Gagan with the steal. You talk about those 16 turnovers, it's almost there. And Skyridge just has not been able to make Bingham pay. As there's a block for Whitehead. I think that's unofficially now with 5.
His average.
West, yeah, traveled. Jory was looking for the charge, got the traveling violation instead. We'll have some substitutions coming in. Cannon Jensen, Josh Davis, and Moss Stiller coming back on. As J.J. Jory and Hunter come off the floor.
Trying to get Whitehead to get out from the rim, Dusty.
Tate Larson hits the free throw line jumper.
Here comes that patent pressure from Coach Gardner. Let's see if they can utilize a turnover here.
And, that was really close. Jensen maybe off his leg there, but here's where I love the advent of the shot clock. This is a state tournament in years previous. This is where I would start having to say, and no shot clock Utah High School basketball. Now I get to say there is a shot clock, and thank goodness, because we would be playing the 4-corner game and chase down and double bonus free throws and all kinds of nonsense here for the last 5 minutes and 40 seconds of the game.
Thank goodness it finally came into fruition. It took him long enough,
oh,
right?
Oh, my heavens. As back ring the jumper there from Bagley. I don't know if you saw, there was a box score that got tweeted out, 4-2 in Oklahoma.
I did see that.
And the official score put, "This is boring" chant happened at like 5 minutes left in the second quarter. Put, "This is boring" chant starts. And I thought they are so lucky I was not on the stream, because I would have buried both coaches at that point.
Yeah,
luckily Ryan Cuff and I have a good relationship, because I had to go to Ryan and say, "Ryan, you know I love you, right?" He goes, "I know." There's a take, cross off there from Jensen. Rebound to Bagley.
Kind of the story of the game for the Falcons right there, Dusty. Another missed opportunity with another layup at the rim.
It's been from the jump street. Had some shots online and just have not gotten them down as Bagley sends out to Peterson. Peterson leaves it for Tuller. Can't finish. Cookie down the floor. Mosteller and one. The junior not going to quit. They're not going to go down without a fight. Not going to go quietly into the night. As we have a former, get this, a little more ready for a fun fact. I always give the Independence Day speech in games like this. You're sitting next to a man who worked on the production of Independence Day. Mike Christensen. He is a personal friend of Vivica A. Fox. Miss Vivica.
Living
That's
legend
a true
right
story.
here.
I'm not even embellishing the story. Bagley for 3.
Miners being able to find that hole open after the pressure from Coach Gardner.
Mosteller just got that ball back. Here's Kenan Jensen. Jensen on Jensen. Crawls in. Wide Channel Basketball treated him well.
As we mentioned earlier in the first half, Coach Gardner, staple of his program, he's going to make sure these boys do not give up, and you can see it there.
Jeff Gardner been around a time or two. When I first started broadcasting, and Jeff Gardner was the head coach at Mountain View. And then at his run at Brighton, he and I bonded over a frustrating game as that ball was back rimmed. A Weber versus Brighton game that we showed him last year when Dusty lost his mind along with Jeff Gardner. And that was when we bonded and he didn't know it. But he's been the only coach in Skyridge history. There's a foul to Mosteller. And we'll walk down the floor for the double bonus free throws.
You know, they say pressure makes diamonds sometimes, right? So, you know, hard situations make tough people, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. If you've never seen that game, you can watch it, but Jeff's Brighton team fell down against Weber. I want to say it was like a 28-4, 20. It's kind of like tonight. I was kind of hoping it would kind of turn into that game. But they came back. Brighton tied the game with just a few seconds left in the game. There was a foul called about 90-ish feet away from the hoop. And Bryant made free throws, and Jeff lost his mind, threw a chair. I was along with him. I was clapping for him, kind of. Actually, very really. But we showed him that clip last year, and he joined us in the state tournament. We played it for him. Oh, it was awesome.
Memorable moment from the broadcast last year. I remember that moment.
You did?
I do.
That Corey Mullaney brought a picture with him of me and Dane and Corey Mullaney were all together in the same frame of the 2007 5A state tournament.
Wow.
Dane and I were calling the game. Corey was standing in front of us, and someone got a picture. And he actually has it on his wall.
That's impressive.
Favorites. And Corey was the head coach at Roy, the Roy Boys of 07.
The Roy boys with the great run back then.
Got Bloxham and Lamb.
Yep.
And Hobbs. Luke Hobbs on that team. And that's why Luke Hyde, the receiver from Woods Cross and Lone Peak, I kept calling him Luke Hobbs all 4 years of his life. And finally, a timeout taken here by Coach Chapman. Full timeout. We'll take it 2. 3.5 left. Story hour will continue when we come back. You're watching the first round of the 6A state tournament on KSLSports.com. Come right back. 3.5 left in the fourth quarter. Skyridge trying to push back. Dusty Lister, Gus Opena. Skyridge, they're not going to quit in this ball game. Larson comes off the screen. And they'll have to reverse back out. 20 seconds on the shot clock. And now the moving screen there on Mosteller. We've got to share the thread. If you followed Gus and I on Twitter, if you follow both of us, you learn that our thread and our connection is the Philadelphia area. We were just talking there. And it's because of LaForno's. I remember making a comment on LaForno's, and you messaged me like, dude, how do you know LaForno? I'm like, I got really big because I ate Stromboli there every Monday.
One of the best places to eat on the East Coast by far.
By far.
Not even close.
I miss that place so much.
Oh, so do I.
But Gus grew up in the Philadelphia area, the suburbs. And there was a LDS ward out there with connection tissue for us too. Coach Reed's former ward. Mm-hmm. I remember Coach Reed walking into church right as it started. It was a game day for the Eagles. And I had just sat down, and Andy comes walking in. I jump up. My companion grabbed me by my jacket. He goes, some people would stand for the prophet. Lidster stands for Coach Reed. Absolutely.
Priorities.
Took, a certain part of it, got up, took off, he went back to the game, but Coach Reed was one of the best.
That's one of the best things I love about Andy was that every game day when he was at a home game for the Eagles, he'd always come to church that morning.
Yeah.
Always. And he strategically always would come up a few minutes late, and he would always leave a few minutes early.
Right. So that he wouldn't interrupt everybody.
Exactly.
But there was a major, he walked in, Coach Reed. That was a famous ward at the time. You had the head coach of the Eagles, you had the weather lady, Amy Freeze, and then a political talk show host, Glenn Beck, was there as well as Josh Davis can't get that one to go. And now one of my neighbors, Justin Enna, was on the Eagles that time.
Special team player at the time.
Yeah,
yep.
Justin was there, and Mahe, Chad Lewis.
Yep.
It was a heyday for those of us with Utah ties.
It was.
To be in Philadelphia.
You could even keep going, and Vi Stickahama was in our stake. Sean Bradley was in our stake at one point.
Well, Vi then moved to Cherry Hill.
He did.
And then I met Uncle Vi. Oh, we had a T on the bench. So we have technical free throws coming. So this is what happens when the game kind of gets out a little bit. I warned Gus at the break. I was like, this is about what happens here. But technical foul to be called. I think it's on Coach Gardner. That's one of the calmest tees for Jeff as he was crouching. Well, the free throw's going to go to Peterson.
I will say Coach Gardner has gotten quite better at those reactions over the years, Dusty.
A lot more calm. He and Quincy Lewis had the same move. They would stomp their feet. And I asked Quincy once, I was like, how many pairs of shoes did you go through? And he was like, you remember that? I was like, of course I remember it. But I remember is you stomp his feet and you put up the number 7. I don't know what play that was, but he ran it all the time. He's like, my wife gets so mad at me because he'd go through dress shoes. He would ruin the heels in his dress shoes. And now he wears Cole Haans like I do. Just like Jeff's wearing. I think those aren't Cole Haans. They look like Vans or something.
Pretty sure Quincy still runs that play against us, against Timpview.
I bet he does. Guarantee he does.
We couldn't stop it this season.
There's a free throws from Jets and go. It's 59-37. As seniors going to come off the floor, that's Ken Jensen to come off, gets the hug from Coach Gardner. Jeff did a great job on Twitter this last week on senior night. They had tweeted about their seniors, and Jeff had a little note that he quote tweeted on each one of his seniors. But he creates such a. I had a player that did not play for Jeff that told me he wished he did. He said the culture that he creates, and this was a kid that played for a top program in the state. He goes, the culture Coach Gardner creates. He goes, I wish I would have been a part of it.
Coach Gardner is just known for just being a winner. Everywhere he's gone, he's won. He runs his programs really well.
Van Coleman misses the three. Mason Hunter takes the foul on the putback, and gives us a chance to give some love here to Mason Hunter. It's been a tough year for Skyridge. You talk about the guys he's following, and this is for Mason. He had to follow Reed. He follows Holland. This is a young man for being in this program that he made his stamp on this team this year.
He did. You didn't see a ton of him last year too, which was impressive for him to come out of the gate the way he did. Did you know, Dusty, that Mason scored in double figures in almost 85% of the games this season for Skyridge?
Well, my favorite memory is that third quarter against Lone Peak, the 22 points, because it was a guy that came out of halftime and just said, nope, this isn't going down tonight. As Van Coleman lost the handle, and it's Wood tracking that ball down. But it's always tough because any of us who finish, you remember your last game. If it's football, if it's basketball, that last moment. And I won't call, well, I would say won't. I have yet to call a game from Lehigh for that exact reason. As Hunter comes off the floor along with Josh Davis, and what a senior year for Josh Davis. This young man he's part of the football team, won the first ever state championship for Skyridge, and a tough way for him to come off the floor tonight. Tate Van Coleman comes off. Tate's older brother also played for Coach Gardner. His dad, loved getting to know his dad. Come up and always says hi, says such nice things to us. But you see the tears coming for these seniors. There's nothing quite like that reality of like all the time we've spent together as a team. It's coming to an end.
Yeah, you know it's got to hurt even more with the performance they had tonight. You know that there's a lot of opportunities they missed out on tonight that they wish they could have back tonight. You know, I still have seniors that I had last year in our Timpview team that still talk to me about the way that we ended our season last year in that state playoff game against Murray at the University of Utah.
No. Well, it never goes away. You know this. You coach guys long enough, you'll text about it. It'll be a birthday text. You'll send them a thing, and I'll say, like, I can't believe we lost this game. Whatever it was. I remember this moment, right? And a lot of times, these guys, it'll be moments on the bus. There's going to be moments in the locker room at a practice, usually gets brought up. I saw a teammate from my sophomore year that brought up a practice moment with he and I when he was a senior and I was a sophomore. And it's just stuff that never goes away. You don't see each other often, but as soon as you see each other, you pick right up where you left off.
Yeah, that's one of the beauties about team sports, especially basketball, is that you're never going to get that team camaraderie, that unity, those experiences, those memories together.
Riken Meadows lost the handle. Oh, on the take, no call on that contact for Alfrey. Send out for Fyans, no. And the rebound claimed by Riken Meadows. As we get into the last minute here, and we'll get some final thoughts from Gus, a selection of a player of the game here from Gus as well. As Meadows misses on the bunny. And Bingham going to move on to go play at Magna by Cypress tomorrow. As, that one goes by the wayside, and the season for Skyridge going to come to a close. And Gus, give us your thoughts on this game, and I want to get thoughts on what you're going to have for you tomorrow. But give us your final thoughts on what you saw here tonight.
Yeah, very impressive performance from the Miners tonight, Dusty. I thought Luke West tonight just played calm. He had great composure tonight for being a freshman. Moment was not too big for him, like I mentioned earlier. Luke West, very impressive young man who can really lead and cause some trouble for Cypress tomorrow night. Whitehead, you can see also the tremendous amount of impact he had on Skyridge and their ability to be able to go toward the rim earlier in the game.
Selection of player of the game.
You're going to put me on the spot like that, huh, Dusty?
Okay, I'll give you a second. I'll go time. You think of one. I'm quick. Always have these ones. The final score, Bingham Miners 59, Skyridge 39, as the season for Skyridge comes to a close in a heartbreaking fashion. But this group that never gave up played their hearts out throughout the year. And for Bingham, They will move on to play Cypress. The winner will move up to the D Event Center. 15 seconds for you. All right, guys, here we go. Selection of the Heidemann Associates player of the game.
You got to go with Luke West. Luke West, I don't know how many total points he had. He had probably at least 10 or 12 tonight, but he was just a calm influence. And it's so impressive, Dusty, that he's a freshman doing this with a team with, 5, 6 seniors on the team. Very impressive performance tonight from Luke West.
Yeah, Luke West, our Heidemann Associates player of the game. And for Skyridge, I'm going to go with Housley. I thought Housley played his heart out. Might not have all the points. He made a lot of plays. Moss Stiller would probably be in the co-one as well. But again, our final score, Bingham 59, Skyridge 39. For Mike Christensen, Kenzie Valentine, and Gus Sopena, I'm Dusty Lister. Thanks for joining us, for watching Skyridge basketball on the Rewind Sports Network on KSLSports.com. We'll see you at the D Event Center.